we will show you the most effective and brutal knockouts performed by the legendary Iron Mike. December 1990, Mike Tyson versus Alex Stewart. Judging by Tyson's outward mood and aggression, this fight could not last long.
Stated categorically that he knows he needs to keep throwing punches to try to keep Tyson occupied. If he stops throwing, he'll be dead. Tyson lands a right and another.
30-second soundbite. All right, man? Okay, let's go.
A shot to the body, another solid right hand. Stewart begins to throw as a means of trying to defend himself.
A good right hand that hurt Stewart again, but Stewart is still upright. He's up just at the count of 9, Jim. How you feel, man?
Taking a good look at Cappuccino. He's going to let him go.
Iron Mike advances like a bulldozer, giving his opponent no chance. He puts the exact left hook that sends Alex to the ring deck.
3, 4, 5, 6.
This fight is over.
Well, Stewart said that Tyson was a mountain he had to climb. He just got knocked off that mountain. He just didn't have the style, Jim.
December 1985, Mike Tyson versus Mark Young.
He says, I'm ready to go. Let's just do it.
From the first round, Young tried to attack, behaved actively, but Mike was clearly expecting something like that.
Because this guy's being a little wild, he's going to get caught with something.
After another attack, Mark runs into a response from Tyson, who throws an opponent with a powerful right uppercut, after which no one could rise.
Agrees. That's it. A little phantom. He's gone. It's over. First round.
June 1985, Mike Tyson versus Ricardo Spain.
Come out boxing. Good luck, y'all.
Round 1, an aggressive start from Tyson. He begins to process the enemy core with hard blows.
The last one. 4 rounds. Tyson, we've already seen in his brief pro career, hits like a steam hammer.
As soon as Ricardo started the resistance, Mike punches the exact right cross and then the left hook that knocks Ricardo. But he quickly rises and is already ready to continue the battle.
And the eyes are the giveaway. Oh, left the legs.
Iron Mike again comes without giving a single chance to the enemy. Spain is back on the canvas, and the referee decides to stop the match.
The power was astonishing. The legs just went every which way. 4 fights, 4 wins for Mike Tyson. We wondered, didn't we, when we saw that?
March 1996, Mike Tyson versus Frank Bruno rematch. Round 2. In Bruno's eyes, fear is visible. This fear is accompanied by the actions of the boxer. When Iron Mike starts an attack, Bruno immediately tries to clinch. Even the referee sees this and starts giving warnings to athletes.
Close to 12 rounds, I guarantee you. Oh, a left hook by Mike Tyson, flush on the face of Frank Bruno. Another left and a combination.
In the third round, it is noticeably that Tyson was tired of these clinches, and he rushed in before to finish the fight. But Bruno works according to his tactics. Getting a blow from Mike, he begins to hawk the opponent. Once again, the referee warns Frank and asks for a decent fight. In the last minute of the third round, Iron Mike pushes Bruno to the ropes and makes a magnificent combination from which he literally hangs on the ropes, and the referee stops this beating.
Tyson is back. The Tyson era has begun.
presenting the undisputed, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
July 1989. Mike Tyson versus Carl Williams. The start of the fight is very vigorous. Both athletes throw not bad hits, but as soon as Tyson begins to attack, Williams tries to clinch, but the referee quickly bred the fighters. Another attack from Mike, and he throws a quick and very strong left hook that knocks the opponent under the rope. Williams was able to rise, but the confusion in his eyes makes the referee stop the fight, although the boxer strongly disagrees. Another knockout victory from Iron Mike. October 1987. Mike Tyson versus Tyrell Biggs. From the first round, Tyrell began to jump around Tyson, emitting the style of Muhammad Ali. He tries to throw a jab, but almost fails. Mike efficiently shakes the pendulum and constantly squeezes the opponent.
He has found a pattern in Tyrell Biggs that he feints to the right 5 years ago, but he really found it there. It's still hurt. And the right hand does most damage. There was a big right hand.
6 rounds, Mike dominates without giving any chance to the enemy to inflict any harm on himself.
Biggs, all the way back to amateur days. Another left-handed there is a great shot.
And in round 7, he does what the public adores him, and what inspires fear in his opponents. Tyson inflicts the most severe blows and the same fatal left hook that makes the outcome of this fight. Biggs was able to rise, but not for long. Mike immediately rushes to finish off the enemy, knocking him again on the floor of the ring.
And 10 seconds to go in the round. There's a left hand. He's down again. It's all over. And it wasn't even twice.
The crowd rejoices as the belts remain with the champion.
Which a fighter after a few rounds starts to hang on to Tyson. And we have to say it's Tyson's credit. He's the one who makes it happen. He makes it happen with his pressure. And no matter what an opponent's plan is, that plan disintegrates.
November 1985. Mike Tyson versus Eddie Richardson. The same calm, but at the same time, Tyson's merciless gaze looks at his opponent.
Go past the first round, Mickey Herskowitz.
Round 1. Mike attacks and immediately overtakes Eddie with a lightning right cross, which immediately knocks him down.
Right hand by Tyson. There you see Eddie Richardson. Wow, he just turned his head around on his neck. And
The referee counts, but Richardson rises and is ready to continue the fight. This was the beginning of the end of the fight.
Eddie Richardson said he was going to go after.
Iron Mike immediately wants to finish off the enemy by breaking the left hook, from which Eddie is no longer destined to continue this fight.
If they can find some fights, then. Left hand almost drove Richardson right through the canvas. He not only knocked him down, but he absolutely carried him through the air. And it's over. I see right now a major flaw and problem in
Undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the one, the only, Mike Tyson.
December 1995. Mike Tyson versus Buster Mathis Jr. The start of the match, and Buster begins to move forward, constantly pushing Tyson to the ropes or to the corner of the ring, but does not take any active action.
Because that's like the lamb jumping out, pressing Mike, staying inside. We'll see what happens when he gets hit, though.
Body punches. There's a shot by Mike Tyson with the left. We are through with round 1, and Buster Mathis is left. Here comes Tyson now, connecting with the left jab and coming with the right. Tyson misses again with the left.
From the southpaw stand.
And he comes with the right.
Oh, he'll feel every punch tomorrow.
Oh, and there is a nice right uppercut. And then Tyson counters himself. Good extension throw.
After another clinch in the third round, Mike puts a powerful right hook to the head. Buster Mathis swarm, almost literally. He clinches and again forces the referee to intervene.
Yeah, trying to get the angle is Tyson. Use that right foot and pivot. Swing around on your opponent's side and then crack.
After it was decided to continue the fight, Buster Mathis pushes Tyson to the ropes and tries to work around the hole. Tyson reiterates his crown combination. He jumps to the side and shoots a powerful right uppercut in the head. Mathis backs off and gets another right after. This time he could not stand on his feet. Buster Mathis tried to rise, but could not do this until the count of 10.
A devastating right uppercut, 2 of them by Mike Tyson, and he is knocked heavyweight champion of the world.
May 1987. Mike Tyson versus Pinklon Thomas.
Don't throw any punches during the break. Is that understood? Seconds come out fighting.
WBC and WBA titles were at stake right away.
Avoid bending forward. Tyson is just going right through it. Right through the jab. Uppercut. Thomas is almost ready to go. He hits it with an uppercut. Thomas is nailed again.
Approximately half through the 6th round, a real beating begins in the ring. Thomas misses a left hook into the head of monstrous power. Then Mike Tyson inflicts 17 more powerful unrequited blows to the head from both hands. Pinklon Thomas fell onto the ring floor. The referee gave the score, but Thomas was no longer able to rise to the score of 10. Angelo Dundee ran into the ring to pick up his mentee.
Angelo Dundee says no. The corner cannot stop a championship fight. I think he counted him out. I'm not sure if that's going to be scored as a TKO or a knockout. I think he may have counted him out. We'll have to wait and get the official scoring to hear exactly how it goes. I think he had it.
February 1989. Mike Tyson versus Frank Bruno.
Shake hands, good luck. The right hand catches Bruno. Left hook. Bruno looks ready to go. Now is when he's got to hang on. And he does. He has the ring sense.
Round 5. Mike does not start attacking the opponent in a slower way. He sees that Bruno is pretty exhausted, and this is his chance to finish the match ahead of schedule.
Tyson trying to attack now to finish him off. Tyson gives him room to come off the ropes. Scores with the uppercut. Lands a big right hand. Bruno's in big trouble now. He's ready to go. He hits him. This is round 5. Remember, a fighter cannot be saved by the bell.
The last minute of the round, and Mike begins to simply destroy the opponent. And after 2 uppercuts at the ropes, the referee decides to intervene and stop the match. So Mike Tyson takes over in this fight.
It's all over. Michael Tyson wins on a 5th round TKO.
November 1986. Mike Tyson versus Trevor Berbick. The long-awaited fight for the world title.
The Mills Lane, we're ready. I don't know about you folks, but here at the Hilton Hotel, there is but this is a poor fight plan. Oh, the right hand gets him with Mike as soon as, a right hand, but the left hook right there. Notice Tyson throws him.
It would not be just a fight. It was the total destruction of Berbick. At the end of the 1st round, Mike struck a great combination with both hands. Berbick loses his balance and miraculously remains on his feet. And only the gong saves him from knockout in the 1st round.
Round 1, a good round 1 for Mike Tyson.
The beginning of the 2nd round, and Iron Mike wants to finish what he started.
Berbick and Mike Tyson. Tyson goes to work right away, and he's got Trevor in trouble, and he's down. He'll have to take the stage. Right side of the ring cage. Instead he goes to the body downstairs, catches him with the right hand upstairs. Mike Tyson on his way to becoming one of the youngest heavyweight champions of all time. Bangs the body. Wow, with that uppercut is Tyson. Catches him with a right left hook, and he goes down.
Berbick's attempt to rise do not lead to anything. The fight is over. This is a knockout.
He scored as a knockout. Mills Lane counted him out to 10. It's all over. We've got a brand new heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson. Well, Trevor Berbick was brave.
October 1985. Mike Tyson versus Robert Collet. From the very beginning of the fight, Collet tries to keep Tyson at a distance with a long jab, but taking advantage of the overwhelming advantage in speed, Mike leaves his opponent no chance. In the first minute of the first round, Mike throws a left hook and knocks down an opponent. It's a knockout. July 1986, Mike Tyson versus Lorenzo Boyd. From the first round, it was noticeable that Lorenzo was afraid of Tyson. And in the second round, Tyson throws his crown right body head. Lorenzo falls on the floor of the ring. It's a knockout.
Right hand to the body and the chin. Down goes Lorenzo Boyd. The count is 5. The count is 6. The count is 8. He will not get up. It's over.
Sam, show me what heavyweight throws punches that quick. Those were 2 right hands, one to the body and
January 1999. Mike Tyson versus Franz Botha. In the second half of the 5th round, both athletes are not at a bad exchange of blows and try not to give way to each other.
Tyson just showing no speed whatsoever.
Franz feels very confident, but Tyson knocks out all of his confidence with his right cross and brings him down on the base. Botha tries to rise, but these attempts lead to nothing. The referee stops the fight, and Tyson wins again by knockout.
One right hand equals, neutralizes everything that was happening. So that's what happens when you got a great puncher. That's all it takes. Was he lucky?
September 1985. Mike Tyson versus Michael Johnson.
he does sound like him.
One scheduled 6, but hold on to your hats. Nobody thinks it's going to go that far. Oh, there he goes. He's just going to pull his way in.
Iron Mike starts the fight very aggressively. From the first seconds, he throws the opponent a heavy blow and strong left hook in the liver, poisoning the opponent to knockdown.
Down he goes, the left hook. Just buried him, dug him in the ribs.
Johnson is not enough. He's ready to continue the fight, but this fight is not destined to last long.
23-pound weight advantage, and he put it all there.
The right to the head, and it's all.
Tyson inflicts a powerful cross, after which Michael will definitely not get up.
He did not have his guard up, and Mike Tyson just Michael Jack Johnson, a big smile, but he didn't even break a sweat.
He may have to run around on the boardwalk a little bit.
June 1986, Mike Tyson versus Reggie Gross. From the very beginning of the fight, it was obvious that Reggie Gross was afraid of Tyson. At one point, Reggie suddenly exploded and held a 15-strike combination, but Mike Tyson waited for the right moment in a hail of blows, hit his crown blow from the left hook, and sent Gross to the ring floor. The audience roars with delight.
You can't even walk. You're worrying about fighting? Come on.
June 1988. Mike Tyson versus Michael Spinks. Fight for the absolute world champion.
See that Michael Spinks is a little tight. His legs are not as loose as they normally have been in the past.
The start of the fight, Mike, in his manner, begins to attack the opponent. He, as always, tries to end the fight ahead of schedule by delivering heavy blows to the opponent.
Keep those hands high.
Stepping in. Work again. Tyson not afraid, as we expected, and Spinks ready to mix it up with him. Tyson along the rope doing damage.
Spinks receives a heavy blow to the body, which knocks him down, but is not ready to give up so easily, and he is ready to continue the fight. A few seconds, and this is a knockout. Mike Tyson became an absolute world heavyweight champion.
Now we know why Brooks Lewis wasn't anxious for Michael Spinks to fight Mike Tyson in the Unification Series. What happened in that round? Still New York.
June 1990. Mike Tyson versus Henry Tillman. Before the fight, Mike was determined to avenge his two annoying defeats in the amateur ring.
To knock out his opponent in the first round. That means if you wanted rounds.
From the start of the first round, he was desperately trying to get away from the upcoming Tyson. Stumbling and slipping, Tillman did everything possible so as not to get involved in the exchange of blows.
Your reputation was built.
You see what's happening here with Henry Tillman, using the ring, break his rhythm.
Solid right hand by Tyson to the body.
Half a minute before the end of the round, Mike, nevertheless, puts a powerful right cross in the head, and again forces the opponent to escape in the clinch. Another 10 seconds, and a right hook in the head sends Henry Tillman to the floor of the ring.
Than he is now. He's allowing Mike Tyson to trap him in the corner.
Referee Richard Steele opened the score, but the Olympic champion could not find the strength to rise.
Surprise!
And Tyson rushes to Tillman to help him up, which may not at the moment be the very best idea. There's a huge crowd around the fallen fighter who probably needs a little air.
And there is the punch.
July 1986. Mike Tyson versus Marvis Frazier.
His father's legacy.
With wins, as we saw earlier, over the likes of Quick Tillis and Bone Crusher Smith, he can fight.
System, supplemental 4-point scoring system if the rounds wind up even.
In the first round, Mike presses his opponent to the ropes and carries out 3 unrequited blows. Moving away from the ropes, Marvis makes a fatal mistake and goes into a corner. And here, Mike Tyson holds one of his most spectacular combinations.
Uppercut, and Marvis is hurt.
Frazier is down. Joe Cortez moves in to have a look, and he's going to stop the fight.
Frazier just hangs near the ropes. This is the end. A knockout victory.
Frazier obviously quite concerned. A terrific uppercut. The same punch with which Tyson knocked out Jesse Ferguson the first time you saw him here on ABC Sports.
Watch the uppercut, the right uppercut. Give me first your reaction to the fight.
The fight, I was confident. I trained real hard with my trainer, Kevin Rooney, who I owe a great deal to. And I came out and I was confident. I knew the fight. I felt it deep in my heart. I was going to stop him in the first round.
Did you know from watching tapes of him that you could hit him with the uppercut?
No, that's my favorite punch. And I watched the time, and I knew from my trainer telling me, as he throws his punches, he bends down. And I knew that would be perfect for my uppercut. I planned on working the body more, but I saw the opportunity, and it looked too good to go away.
In your mind, if your managers Jim Jacobs and Bill Caton and your trainer Kevin Rooney came to you and said, Mike, we think you're ready for a title shot tomorrow, would you agree with them at this point?
most definitely. Anytime, if my manager and my trainer feel that I'm confident and they're willing to put me in a title and they're sure I could beat the champion, I'm sure I could beat them also.
Of the 3 champions, who would you like to fight and why?
I'd fight anybody my trainer put me in with because I'm confident I could beat any fighter in the world.
What do you think of the 3 champions?
They're all good fighters because you have to be a good fighter. You can't take nothing away from them to become the champion. But I'm confident, I'm ready, and I'm ready when my trainer tells me.
Thanks for watching the video to the end. Please press thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment on about whom you'd like to see another selection. And also subscribe to the channel to see all new videos about the legends of the past.